In Hypixel Skyblock, the biggest MMORPG in Minecraft, there are so many things to decide and look for and to grind out for, whether it is Slayer, money, Catacomb XP, and of course, the main topic of this video, skills. On the 8th of May 2021, I have fully maxed out most of the skills, becoming the 99th player in the game to have it with API on, and the first Thailand player to ever have it. Although it's not really the max, because some people like Alma, the first player to ever have 60 skill average by pre-grinding all the skills beforehand. But nonetheless, this is how I did it. Combat is by far the easiest one for me because I've always been too keen to grind slots. It was the best money making method, but sometimes you get some sweat with Spectre Brute running around stealing all the slots, or sometimes even worse, explosive bowers. But let's not get into that discussion here because that's gonna start a flame war like it did in the forum at one point. But it's still a pretty fun way of making money for me at least. And also, slot gives a decent amount of XP per kill, and after grinding it for 3 hours a day for straight 4 months, oh, shut the fuck up! And after grinding this for 4 months, 3 hours on each day, it put me to combat 42. After that, I grinded most of my combat from tier 4 Revenant boss. I killed almost over 2000 tier 4 Revenant boss, which was quite a daunting task considering my gear and meta of the game at the moment, but I got combat 50 nonetheless. On the 9th of March 2021, Hypixel added a revamp for the Spider Den, the BC Alley, and Combat 60. Since the BC Alley gave out Combat XP completely for free for killing a certain mob to unlock a BC Alley tiers, I gained over 22 million Combat XP at the start of this update, putting me right to Combat 57. And after the update came out, at this point I mostly grind my XP from Ghost and Tier 5 Revenant, because that also came with the update. And Tier 5 Revenant was pretty fun. I got some good drops out of it, but unfortunately no Warden Heart. The reason I started grinding Ghost is because somebody was telling me that I'm bad for not having a level 100 Black Cat, so I started to sweat Ghost and level up some of my pets, and I got combat 60 afterward. And I still do Ghost to this day because it's quite a decent money making method, if I'm going to be honest. This is a really boring skills to grind before the drop in mine update, because the best way to grind mining XP before the update are either minions or manually mining endstone and wither away by the toxicity of the end. But luckily, on the 15th of January 2021, Hypixel revamped everything about mining with the drop in mine update, making it a whole lot easier. They also added mining 60, and I grinded and eventually I got it. Although, apart from grinding mining for skill XP, there's also a new perk tree called Heart of the Mountain, which requires a lot of grinding to max out a certain perk, but I'm really interested to grind them out as well, because with max out perks, it can make a decent bit of money. Farming is a relatively boring one, apart from the fact that Jacob update came out on the 2nd of November 2021. It came with new holes to make farming a lot easier, and a lot more crops are now viable compared to before. Combined with the fact that Netherwart is now the best crops for money, giving me an incentive to grind more farming level, so I get the farming fortune stat to get more crops, hence more money. Plus, Floor 7 has just came out a few weeks later, giving me an incentive to grind for the new sword, the Necron Braid series. And eventually, I got it, combined with farming Netherwart, sugarcane, and also frag running throw in between, and I got the funny sword. Look, it's so cool, right? Foraging is once again a really boring one because there's no level 60 yet, but for the most part, it's just doing what every modern industry is doing, polluting the earth by cutting down the most essential part of our human life for a bit of profit. This effect is going to stagnate over time and we eventually reach the breaking point, killing us all as a result. We're talking about funny trees on Minecraft, I forgot. I got Foraging 50 a long time ago, because this skill is actually pretty easy compared to other skills, because it gains 600k per hour, which it's only like 100 hours or so of foraging. And for the last 3 skills, I don't really want to talk about Alchemy and Enchanting, because you can be lying on the floor lifeless for like 0.5 seconds and you will still be able to get them anyways. So let's just skip right to fishing. Fishing is the last skill I'm missing to get 55 skill average, the bane of my existence. Although for the past 1 year and a quarter, I barely even fish. Nothing ever really motivates me to fish in the game, although Hypixel and a friend of mine, Viklund, has made a couple of attempts for me to fish. First thing, Volinderman and myself have decided to compete for fishing 50. During this competition, Hypixel added a new fishing gear, buff sea creatures XP gain by a decent amount, plus the new event, Fishing Festival, hosted by the most simp mayor on the r/Hypixel Skyblock. What came with this update is a new fishing rod, Rod of the Sea, and also a new armor set called Shark Scale Armor Set, which I made a texture for when it came out, and the armor texture looks kinda familiar to something, but let's not talk about that. Anyways, back to the competition with him. We fished for a decent amount, and the result, he got fishing 50, but by the time I got fishing 40. Okay, yeah, it's quite a big gap, honestly, like 30 million XP apart. Well, with that aside, on the 2nd of November 2021, Hypixel added spooky fishing and the new drops from the mobs that can cost millions of coins in the bazaar or the auction house, like soul fragment, werewolf skin, deep sea orbs, but it doesn't really interest me that much. But as time goes on, more skills have been maxed and there's only one missing on the list. My time has come and my name was called. On the 12th of April 2021, Technoblade became the resistant leader along with his resistant crew against Dante. After Dante has been defeated in the laggiest manner, Technoblade and his crew has been elected as a temporary mayor. Him and his crew given the Skyblock community a lot of perks, but the one that are the most important for this video are the 50% XP boost from Technoblade and a 25% boost from Furry E-Boy. With this boost, it boosted the user 250k fishing XP per hour to 450k fishing XP per hour. While people are busy spawning infinite tier 5 Revenant, I was busy fishing, and by the time Techno is leaving, I'm already at fishing 46, and who's gonna replace him after? Well, it's Marina, the girl herself, and this is official. This is it. But what is the incentive for me to grind fishing? Oh, it's very simple. I made a 100 million bet with my Twitch chat at twitch.tv/Fanku that if I don't get fishing 50, I'll give away all of the money that I had in the bank. And after 20 hours of fishing, multiple fishing festivals, much of my sanity depleted, I did it. And this is the moment that I'm done with Skyblock. For now at least. XP more! Ladies and gents. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it. Get in. Get in the pond, brother. I'm gonna grab my water. Alright! We have done it! Alright boys, line up and take a screenshot. Alright, everybody's here. We have done it! And that's it. Join my Discord server, follow me on twitch.tv to see most of my grindings and all the fun stuff like me playing Apex and modding. And thank you for watching to the end, and until the next blue moon, farewell.